House of the Dragon Season 2, there were a lot of people that were frustrated at the ending, and now according to a new book, there is some explanation to maybe why the season ended the way it did. Welcome everybody to the Sundowners Club. A new article is out by Dan Selcke on winteriscoming.net. Be sure to check out their site. They have a lot of great material around Game of Thrones, Night of the Seven Kingdoms, House of the Dragon, and more. And according to this article, they explain why the season ended the way it did for House of the Dragon Season 2. And it's according to a new book that's out. And we're going to get into what happened and maybe some of the reasons why the season felt like it was cut short of a major event. And according to this new coffee table book that's coming out called House of the Dragon, Dawn of the Targaryen Civil War, Gina McIntyre, the author of the book, talked to the cast and crew, and according to Dan Selcke and winteriscoming.net, here's what was said. Showrunner Ryan Condal, Sarah Hess, and other writers outlined a 10-episode season culminating in a deadly naval confrontation from the Fire and Blood book known as the Battle of the Gullet. However, it soon became clear that the ambitious narrative taking shape on paper would necessitate an extended production schedule, embarking on another potential 10-month shoot that would have had a knock-on effect, pushing back the release of House of the Dragon Season 2 until 2025, a prospect that gave everyone pause. So, first of all, Sterling, going back to House of the Dragon Season 2, did you feel like the ending of it was missing something? What was your assessment of the way it ended?
Yeah, I didn't like it. It didn't feel finished. And I think, we're fans of Game of Thrones, and the House of the Dragon has kind of followed, at least the first season, where your episode 9 is usually kind of like your penultimate episode.
Right, yeah.
And this was a shorter season, so they didn't have that. But it's usually the episode before the last episode of the season where most of the action takes place. And
right.
I believe this season it was was it the 4th episode?
Was the Battle of Rook's Rest.
Yeah. And that was kind of, so you see that on the 4th episode and you're thinking, man, like this is going to be a great season. If we're already doing this on episode 4, what's it going to be like later? Turns out episode 4 was the best the season had to offer. So, to me, it didn't feel finished. We had talked about that and thought that could be an issue because they talked about shortening the season and maybe some budget concerns. Honestly, now I would have rather it been delayed to 2025 and got a complete season. I mean, I thought it was disappointing. It wasn't awful, but it was disappointing, and I would have rather them, finished it how it was supposed to be done.
Yeah, and I do want to note, according to Dan Selcke and winteriscoming.net, giving credit to jonsnowKITN on Reddit with the excerpt talking about the 10-month schedule and the knock-on effect. So I want to give credit there. But yeah, I agree. I think that, the main thing is you're dealing with a show that we're used to Game of Thrones where every season was a year. We waited a year. And they never really shut down those units. And so I would have rather have waited to get it done right and to end it on a bang and go, man, we had to wait till 2025, but what a banger of a season with the Battle of the Gullet culminating with this huge naval battle. And I think they got that wrong. I think that with 8 episodes, it just felt like something was missing. It felt like a season was cut off midstream with no real cliffhanger, nothing to really chew on, to wait for season 3. So my wish for them for the 4-season show, which they've announced that this series is going to end after season 4, is they're going to be filming season 3 starting in March of 2025. I would just go straight through. I would do like they did with the Lord of the Rings movies, just film the seasons back to back. That way you keep the crew in place and you don't have as long of a wait between season 3 and season 4. And that's what I would hope they would do. Now, because of the financial issues around Warner Brothers, of which HBO is under that umbrella, and Warner Media, the question of spending that much money in a 1-year span from March, if they were to film, both seasons, they would probably run March to March So I don't know how that would affect their accounting of their budgets and their books for the financials. But to me, I think that would be the biggest payoff to avoid what happened with season 2, because if they go into season 3, they have a lot to accomplish story-wise in 2 seasons. There's a lot, and things are going to be left out. But if you do it right and you film it back to back, you've got the crew there, and hopefully there's going to be some lessons learned. But again, some of the things that have come out from George R.R. Martin criticizing Ryan Condal and the showrunner of House of the Dragon, it sounds like there's going to be more changes coming to the story, and it's not good. So we'll see if they course correct. But this does sort of explain what happened around the Battle of the Gullet. It does seem a little excessive to me to think that one battle would take 10 months to film. That seems...
It's a lot of CGI, though, and high-quality CGI takes a lot of time, so that doesn't surprise me at all.
Well, maybe the 10 months includes post-work as well.
Yeah.
So, but we wanted to bring that to you, and there's other news around Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon, Night of the Seven Kingdoms. We did get some news this week that Night of the Seven Kingdoms has been pushed back a little bit. It's coming out in 2025, but later, summer 2025. So, we'll keep an eye on that till we get the official date. But the original thought was that we might get an April-May premiere of Night of the Seven Kingdoms. It's looking now like that may be the back end of the summer, August, September, somewhere around there. So we'll keep an eye out for that for Night of the Seven Kingdoms when it comes out, and let everybody know. So let us know what you think. How did you feel about the end of House of the Dragon Season 2? What are your thoughts around the explanation from this new book around the Targaryen Civil War? While you're doing that, smash the like button, leave us those comments, share the video out with your friends, and most importantly, hit subscribe so we can continue to grow our channel and TCB.